What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to give you a character review for Shuri, one of the new characters that we got as a part of update 3.8. Now I gotta be honest, I'm still very upset about the fact that after waiting all this time for Black Panther's uniform, it came to the game with an initial buying of 5,500 crystals, and you have to build up different characters and different uniforms to get the full return on that investment. You even have to go as far as spending 30 to 100 bucks. Anyways, I'm somehow very surprised that after the level of greed that Netmarble has shown in the past few months, Shuri made it in this game and she's not a bio sub. Why? Because she's actually almost as good as one of the paywalls that we currently have right now. The reason why I say that is because of her tier 2 passive. Her tier 2 passive is almost identical to Valkyrie. Valkyrie is a paywall character, so for Shuri to somehow escape and get into the game as a free character, one that you can build off Shadowland selectors and rank up tickets like I did, I am very surprised. She's actually going to be a top tier character for a lot of players, especially if you're free to play. She's going to be one of your go-to, if not your go-to, for the last few stages of Shadowland, for World Boss Ultimate and for ABX. So definitely one of the best characters in the game for sure. She's going to be able to hold down a solid spot in any roster as a support type and as a standalone character. So if you're someone like me and you enjoy Shadowland or World Boss, she'll definitely do good for you there. When it comes to Shadowland, the fact that she has 2 stuns, one here on the 5, one here on the 2, and she has a 4 skill that attacks very rapidly and make it so that she can lock down the enemies effectively, kind of like a stun would. She's actually a very good character. On top of that, she also has damage immunity on the 5 skill right here, and she has iframes on the 1, the 2, and the 4. Very good character. She also gets a 3 skill right here that is something I generally don't see in a speed characters kit. She actually gets 15% all attack, 15% all defense, 15% all speed, and 70% reduced to damage received. That is huge. Granted, this is not going to make her a tank by any means because there is no speed tank currently in the game. She's not going to change it, but this is definitely going to make her significantly better, especially if you're really sloppy and for some reason you're getting hit because you don't prioritize your damage immunity. Granted, the damage immunity is not that long. It's standard 5 seconds, but the cooldown time is 8 seconds if you have max skill cooldown, leaving you with a 3-second window when you can take damage. However, if you're prioritizing the partial iframes on the 4, the 2, and the 1, you should be good. However, just keep the 3 up and the damage that you take will be drastically reduced. It won't be someone like Wolverine or Blue Marvel level, but this 70% reduction definitely helps. She also gets 30% ignore dodge natively built into her kit. It's not as good as someone like Kate Bishop's, but it's definitely a really good thing for any speed character. I believe Kate Bishop gets 35, she gets 30, not really off by much, but for a speed character, this is very good. It's going to make her useful if you want to use her in something like Battle World to bump up the DPS for your other characters, and you want to make it so that she has a slight advantage because generally speed characters have really high dodge, so she's going to be great there. However, one of the great things about her is simply just the tier 2 passive. I've found 3 things that I don't like about Shuri in the time that I've had her. One is the leadership, which is standard for speed characters. All speed is just terrible. Really hope they will get rid of these one day, but it looks as though they have no plans for that. The other thing that I don't like about Shuri's kit is the fact that all of her skills can be guard broken, and that is a design flaw that was made by Netmarble on purpose because of the fact that the uniform actually gives her super armor, which makes it so that her skills cannot be guard broken. right? So for anyone who thinks that they don't play their own game, they most definitely play their own game, and they notice these things and they design them that way so that they can sell your uniform later on. Every skill can be guard broken, making it so that your damage is significantly lower. So be careful when you use her without the uniform. But to be honest, 99% of the people who build her is gonna build her up, get this uniform, and never take her out of it, which is pretty sad, because to be honest, I prefer how her skills look without the the uniform as opposed to with the uniform. I love the crows. Kind of reminds me of Raven from Teen Titans. You know, kind of like reliving my childhood. I feel like DC's about to hit these guys with a lawsuit for using the Raven. But anyways, they probably can't do that. They probably can't do that. But I think it's really cool to see this big ass Raven. And to be honest, for a couple of her skills with the uniform, it kind of feels like a copy paste from someone like White Tiger. So I don't like how it feels. However, that's not the reason why a lot of people are going to use her. They're probably not going to use her by herself. They're probably just going to use her as a support, but she can definitely work as a standalone character. So if you don't have the resources to buy the uniform, you can still build her up and she's still going to hold it down in Shadowland, World Boss, or even Alliance Battle, regardless of whether or not you're using her as a support type. I honestly feel like if you have her at tier 2, she has enough DPS to get you over 100k regardless of your build, simply because of this tier 2 passive. I can guarantee you that. Now, when it comes to an ISO set for her, this actually cost me 7.5 million gold, which is kind of cheap for overdrive these days. Generally cost me anywhere from 15 to 20 million, so count your stars. But this is actually the best ISO set for her, simply because of the third skill right here, giving her 15% all attack, all defense, and all speed. So you don't want to give her Power of Angry Hulk if you have any kind of attack speed coming from your cards. Now for me, I have a little bit, so you'll notice right here I have 118%. So when I do hit that third skill, I'm just over the cap, but that's good enough for me. For you guys, if you have a lot coming from your cards and you get Power of Angry Hulk, that's going to be an even bigger waste for you. So keep that in mind. As you can see, I don't have her completely decked out yet. 52% for the crit rate, 155 for crit damage, 41% for ignore defense, 30% for ignore dodge as a part of her passive, and we have 50% for reduced cooldown duration. Now when it comes to her gears, as you can see right here, it's only at 17, and the stats are looking pretty good in my opinion for only having 17 gears. So I'm going to be trying to see just how much I can get done with her by herself without dropping her into the support role just yet, because I know that's where a lot of people are going to put her. They're going to put her on the team as a support like they do for Coulson or Valkyrie and just kind of forget about her. So I wanted to show you guys just how good she is as a standalone character and without her uniform, because some of you guys may not have that 1000 crystal to drop on her right away. Okay, now when it comes to the obelisk, it completely depends on how you're going to use the character. If you're going to use her in PvP, give her invincibility, she'll do very well because of the fact that she has iframes on 3 skills and immunity on another skill. On top of that, she has respectable DPS for a speed type, and she can also bump her own DPS with her third skill, and her survivability is actually pretty solid because of the fact that she gives herself that 70% reduction as well. So every single one of her skills in the kit is very useful. So in my opinion, she's a hybrid. If you want to use her in ABX just to test her out, give her a damage proc. If you don't have Quicksilver, Miguel, or you don't have Luna Snow yet, since she's a premium, go ahead and give her a try. I can guarantee you, if you build her up with an offensive build, she'll get you over 100k for sure. However, for me, the main place I'm going to be using her is going to be Shadowland, simply because I have all those other characters already built up. I already have Quicksilver, I already have Luna, so I don't really have a need for her there, but I may actually test her out to see just what she's capable of on her own. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Shadowland and see what I can get done with her. And when it comes to a skill rotation, I generally just go 5 into 3 into 4 into 2 into 1. And the reason why I start off with 5 and not 3 is because if you use the 3 first, I find that I take a little bit of damage. Whereas if I just be safer and use the immunity first and then the buff, it's easier for me to transition, and for the most part, I generally don't take any damage in my fights. So that's kind of why I do that. But you can play around with the rotation, and I'm sure any rotation will work for her because she's a very, very, very good character. wasn't the best clear time. However, it wasn't slow by any means, especially since I don't have her built up that well yet. So that's all I have to really share for this one. Let me know what your thoughts are on the character, and I will see you guys in the next one. Personally, I'm having a lot of fun with her. She's one of the highlights of update 3.8, and I'm very surprised even now that she escaped being a premium character. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.